Get ready.
At some point you would be hard pushed to find a gaming household that didn't have a dance mat, plastic guitars, or my personal favourite, the DK bongos. Rhythm games are big business. They are easy to play, have a simple premise to understand, which makes them appealing to all walks of life, young or old, whether they are gamers or not. But where stuffing our homes with large plastic accessories is a fad thankfully dead for most, the rhythm game is still a popular genre, alive and well. Muse Dash may be in fact the simplest rhythm game of all. But without a gimmicky accessory, does it still mean it's fun to play? As soon as the game comes onto your screen with its explosion of colour and hyper-tempo music, it snatches your attention as you cycle through your WTF reactions and your mind struggles to comprehend what exactly is going on. You barely have time to adjust to the neon-charged visuals before the music fills your ears and you feel you have fallen into a Saturday morning cartoon with the speed stuck on fast forward. Once you have blinked enough to clear the pink from your eyes, you get to pick a song and the game chills for the first time as you prepare for the first track. The gameplay, as said before, is super simple. 2 buttons, that's it. One for ground attacks and one for air attacks. Similar to other music games, icons float onto screen and you have to press the button once they reach the target in time with the music. Press them with good timing, you score more points, signalled by good, great or perfect words that flash on screen. But don't be fooled by Muse Dash's simple premise. There is plenty here to make pressing 2 buttons when prompted a lot more tricky than first impressions suggest. See, the icons that float on screen are in fact enemies, and when you press the buttons correctly, your cute character will punch, kick and whack the enemies like an action platform game. This does make the game incredibly fun to look at, and I have to applaud the game developers coming up with a pleasing visual design like this. It makes Muse Dash really stand out from other rhythm games, where those rhythm games could be labelled boring in comparison. So much of this genre's appeal can be won or lost on how the HUD looks, and Muse Dash really chucks the standard shapes and flashes out the window for, well, a video game look. As the many headers roll on screen, the variations of how the buttons need to be pressed and when start to mix things up. Long bars have you hold the button, and you may need to press the second button at the same time while you're continuing to hold. The game tries to throw you off with hazards, where you press the opposite button to avoid them, like spinning blades across the floor. Other tricks include ghosts that disappear mid-screen to test your timing without the visual cue, and enemies can pop up from all sides giving you less warning on the button press. Finally, bosses throw lasers, more enemies and bouncing projectiles at you, and they may involve mashing or rapidly pressing buttons to defeat them and build up combos for more points. And for what is essentially a video game about pressing 2 buttons in time with music, quickly becomes an addictive and incredibly difficult challenge, as the notes storm the screen in combinations that first seem impossible, but is clear with skill and practice can be mastered to score massive points. Perform well enough and you'll be graded at the end of the track, and may even find yourself on the worldwide leaderboards, which is a nice touch to keep you playing after you've scored an S rank. But it will take practice and you are bound to fail on the harder tracks. Now I know what you're saying, come on Bill, how hard can it be? It's just 2 buttons. Trust me. Miss time too many hits and your life bar will deplete, ending the song early and sending you back to the title screen. Then you begin to understand God tier, as beats speed onto the screen in combinations perhaps too quick for anyone to tap a single button along to. You realise that your controller in fact has multiple buttons that all do the same thing. Everything on the right hand side of the controller is button 2, and everything on the left of the controller is button 1. And your controller has turned into a fully fledged instrument, where your fingers and thumbs may be pressing the same 2 notes, but to keep up with this pace, you'll be changing grips and perhaps utilising every button you have. It's crazy how this little rhythm game is harder to combo on than many advanced fighting games out there. What the hell? It is possible to cheese some tracks, as you don't lose anything from missing a beat, and you can just focus on one button, although the point of the game really is to get high scores, and you won't be doing that unless you try to play the song as it's intended. Seeing someone hit the more complicated tracks without failing is incredibly impressive, although after playing for a while I did miss my plastic guitar or dance mat, as it did make me feel like I was contributing more to the song. But really, when it's all said and done, it's all about that funky music, and Muse Dash is jam-packed with tracks. 90 plus in fact. It's insane just how many songs come with this game. At first you may find that a lot of the tracks bleed into one another and sound similar, but the game really has surprising variety. Slower songs, many different styles, although it is mainly in the same genre or with Japanese vocals, you are bound to find a ton of tracks you will enjoy. Along with the mountain of catchy tunes, Muse Dash has plenty of things to unlock and level up the more you play. Other playable characters become selectable, and there is plenty of fan service here, being an anime-inspired game I suppose, but you can also unlock pets and give you bonuses such as more life or points as you play, as well as more songs and artwork. But this doesn't really add much to the core gameplay experience besides cosmetic appeal, and after a while, what was once a fresh and appealing side-scrolling platform aesthetic that they could have done a lot more with, slowly turns into any platform game's biggest downfall, of samey looking enemies and similar looking backgrounds. But this brings me to the biggest deterrent of this game for Switch owners, and that's the price point. The game does cost $25.99 regular retail price, and for a game that is so simplistic gameplay wise, it is a hard sell and recommendation for many. And I can't deny, for this price there is much better gameplay experiences out there. Still, consider this, music albums cost around, £10, and for about 12 tracks? With that in mind, Muse Dash is a pretty good bargain with 90 tracks. If you're into that music style, that is. And with the Switch being a portable system, you can enjoy a few games with headphones on the bus, no more difficult than switching on your chosen music device, or play the game in dock mode with a decent bass system and really rock out. Muse Dash is a colour hand grenade, a sugar rush of music delight. With so many songs for your money and content to unlock and see, you won't believe how much time has gone by when all you have really been doing the whole time is hammering 2 buttons and nodding along to the beat. Kizra says, Mistress Puff thinks, wow, that's a lot of things on screen. I think this game is great for people chasing high scores. As much as I've been riding it this whole time, it's such a happy game that does make you smile when you're playing it, although I think the price is huge for it. Lisa Twig says, what on earth is that? Okay, I'm gonna say it, the music is actually not bad. I've heard far worse. I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but it's a hit from me. It looks fun, and I can imagine it could become very addictive very quickly. True Nemesis Prime says, ugh, rhythm-based game? Miss. I know someone that might like it though. Squash Pickle 8 says, main gameplay doesn't look too bad to be honest. I haven't seen much though, so don't include that in your review. Oh, oops. Sorry Squash Pickle. Fanata says, over 4,000 levels? Alright, I'll give it a hit. I can get really into rhythm games. I'm not a fan of the in-game sprites, but I'd put up with it. Tracks so far get about a 65% win rate, not one I'd play on the bus though, he says. James Christopher says, if you ignore its waifu graphics, it's basically Teoko with slightly different display, and frankly I prefer it. I have put a lot of hours into this, it's definitely good value for money for me. Matthew Horn says, I love Rune games and I'm really impressed with Muse Dash. The song collection is insanely good and it offers a good challenge at higher levels. And finally, Dragan says, an electric mix of heart rate increasing tunes and some frantically paced speed mixed with a simple yet addictive rhythm based gameplay makes this one to pick up for those who want a challenge and toe tapping thrills. Adding up all the hits and all the misses from the One Life Left gaming community, we collectively give Muse Dash the score of 72%. If you would like to be a part of Critical Hit and help us review games in the future, simply join the One Life Left community on Facebook, Discord, Twitch and or YouTube, leave a comment on any of our review posts and your opinions could appear on the next Critical Hit. Links to everything in the description below. Hope to see you all again soon. This was Bill on behalf of One Life Left. Thanks for watching and thanks to everyone who dropped their opinions about this week's game. Laters!